ce que je fais dans mon salon à regarder ma télévision.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Hey, what's up, guys? Bienvenue sur ma chaîne, bienvenue sur un autre épisode de Réveille-toi tabarnak. Épisode 8 déjà. Là, je vous ai parti une vidéo avec des affaires pétrifiées pour vous montrer comment on nous ment avec l'histoire. Puis je le sais, je suis pas un épais, là, je sais qu'il y en a que c'est AI, mais dans le fond, les AI, ils montrent qu'est-ce que ça leur a ressemblé. Fait que je vous ai parti une vidéo avec ça parce que j'avais fini le dernier vidéo avec ça. Puis la plupart du monde, ils n'ont pas de concentration, ils se rendent pas jusqu'à la fin des vidéos. Fait que là, je vous ai parti de vidéo avec ça. Fait qu'aujourd'hui, une compilation de plein de choses, guys. Si on n'a pas de problème, on va même partir ça avec Céline Dion.
Céline Dion, est-ce qu'elle aurait re-signé un pacte avec quelqu'un pour revenir comme ça, toute fraîche? Parce que si vous vous souvenez bien, il y a quelques années, elle avait sorti sa marque de vêtements pour enfants Céline Unu, une ligne non genrée de vêtements pour enfants, avec des symboles choisis qui étaient très curieux pour les enfants. Des crânes, des pentagrammes, l'œil, et le mot New Order, et j'en passe. C'était tout un symbolisme qui avait fait scandale. Et même son clip pour promouvoir sa marque qui était vraiment très très bizarre. On l'avait vu aussi allongé et affaibli en pleine lutte contre cette maladie rare, le syndrome de la personne raide, avec des spasmes intenses, des raideurs extrêmes. Elle pouvait plus chanter, plus marcher. C'était quand même la voix du film Le Titanic. Elle était limite au bord du gouffre, plus de concerts pendant des années. Et là, tout d'un coup, elle revient toute fraîche, toute pimpante, avec 10 concerts à Paris à la Défense Arena dès le 12 septembre 2026. Je veux dire, comment ça se fait? Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé en fait? Et le prix des places, on en parle? Plus de 1000 balles pour être devant. Je dis pas qu'elle les mérite pas, attention. Si ça se trouve, en plus, c'est peut-être ses derniers concerts, qui sait? Vous allez y aller, vous, ou pas?
Ouais, on sait pas qu'est-ce qui se passe avec Céline Dion. Elle était sur le bord de mourir, puis là, ça a l'air que tout à coup, elle est top shape. Je vais vous mettre même... m'aller chercher, là, je ne l'ai pas dans mes pages, je vais vous le mettre à la fin du vidéo. L'annonce qu'elle avait faite pour sa marque de linge, comment c'est sataniste. Puis aussi, comment qu'elle était finie, là, plusieurs années. Comment qu'elle avait de l'air vieille, puis finie, puis là, elle a de l'air flambant neuve. En 2026, je vais vous chercher ça, puis je vais le mettre à la fin du vidéo.
I just found something in the Epstein files that literally no one is talking about. It's an email from a man named Robert Trivers, who is an evolutionary biologist, to Jeffrey Epstein. And in this email, Robert Trivers is talking about transgender ideologies. He's talking about chemically changing men and women to make them more sexually desirable to Jeffrey Epstein. He also talks about pushing these transgender ideologies onto children as young as 3 years old. Here is the full email. If you want to read it, you can, but it's pretty disgusting. But anyways, here is a section from that email where it literally explicitly says that they plan on pushing these ideologies onto children as young as 3 years old. So underneath all of the horrible crimes that are being alleged in the Epstein files, there is also 100% proof that they are planning on castrating our little children. Keep in mind, the man Robert Trivers who sent this email is walking completely free, even though he was talking about chemically changing children to be desirable for Jeffrey Epstein. Something needs to change. This is really, really bad, and nobody is being arrested. This is proof. This is not an allegation. This is proof of an email that was sent by this man. Something needs to happen. God bless.
Ouais, c'est dégueulasse, puis ils poussent ça sur nos enfants à l'école, esti. C'est vraiment dégueulasse.
If you have $100 bill and you spend it at the local takeaway, and that person spends it on groceries, and then that person spends it on new shoes, the $100 bill is still $100. But if you pay with card, the bank takes 1.5%, then another 1.5%, and then another 1.5%. After 20 or 30 transactions, the only ones left with the full $100 are the banks. That's why they want to get rid of cash.
C'est exactement vrai qu'est-ce qu'il dit, le gars. S'il y a 100$ en circulation, il va se dépenser, il va se redépenser, il va se redépenser, il va se redépenser, il va passer d'une main à l'autre. Mais le même 100$ qui est dans ton compte de banque, ça sera pas long qu'il n'existe plus parce qu'ils l'ont tout pris en frais.
The mix that we're seeing is about 50% water and then 50% fuel, which is enough that it actually won't combust and spark inside of the engine. So that at that point your vehicle is not drivable because you can't actually turn the engine over. So for the first couple runs of the vehicle,
ils ont trouvé du gaz coupé 50% avec de l'eau. L'avez-vous remarqué quand vous gazez à cette heure, ça sent plus le gaz?
You're still getting some fuel mixture through that or through the lines, and then eventually the more water that goes through, the worse the problem gets. First thing and foremost, don't drive the car. The more you drive the car, the more that fuel is going to go through the system and potentially damage other components. Even running it for 10 to 15 minutes can slowly pull that water and fuel content into the rest of the engine. And then immediately get into a shop. By towing it would be the preferable method, and it just allows us to then, limit the damage that happens to these cars.
Ça a été trouvé, ça, au Canada. Ils ont fait des tests, puis il y en avait qui étaient... Ils disent que c'était un accident, que le gaz a été contaminé. Mais ça, c'est 50-50, hein, 50% d'eau. Mais moi, je suis sûr qu'ils peuvent le mixer facilement, mettre un 10% d'eau, sans qu'on s'en rende trop compte. Puis en parlant d'eau...
Listen to this. Many people don't know this, but just 3 ChatGPT responses can consume an entire bottle of water. While we were distracted with other things, there's a danger that nobody's talking about. But it's going to hit harder than anything this decade. The world could run out of water. It's actually called Day Zero. Now, Day Zero is a moment when the water supply gets so low that governments have to shut off access to regular tap water. Remember, we're in the biggest tech transformation in history, and tech needs water. AI and data centers need water. Now, this is a serious threat, but now, by the time everybody figures this out, it's going to be too late. Follow me for more on the future of money.
Il dit même au monde d'investir dans une compagnie d'eau. Avez-vous vu combien d'eau que ça l'utilise le AI? Utilisez pas le AI. Moi, j'utilise à cette heure pour faire un thumbnail des fois pour mon vidéo YouTube. Mais jamais je pose des questions à ChatGPT. Jamais, 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 puis je le ferai pas. T'es en train de drainer l'eau de la planète. Puis tout le monde utilise ça pour n'importe quelle raison, comme des caves. Faites pas ça.
What do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. Keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
Keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
The idea of the social credit is to monetize everything, to give value to every single thing you do in life. It has positive potential in some regards. Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies. This is the end of human history. Not the end of history, the end of human-dominated history. History will continue with somebody else in control.
Somebody else in control.
AI can even write a new Bible. All the other books of the other religions, humans wrote them. But our book, no. It came from some superhuman intelligence. Human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story. Companies like Apple and Google will have tons and tons of data on your body, on your most private affairs and conditions. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. In order to collaborate on a large scale, you need to convince everybody to believe in the same story. The engine of history is stories. And they don't even need to be true.
Hollywood is not the land of dreams. It is the world's largest open-air altar of witchcraft. Do you think you go to the movies to have fun? No. You pay for a ticket to take part in a ritual. Look at the name, Hollywood. Translated Hollywood. It is the sacred wood that the Druids used to make their magic wands. The purpose of the wand is to direct energy and cast spells. That is exactly what your TV screen does to your mind. And who...
Television. Hein? Il raconte une vision. Même je me souviens, moi, quand j'étais jeune, mes grands-parents, ils disaient « On écoute notre programme à TV. Notre programme. Faut le faire. » Puis personne n'a...
holds that wand? The Collins family, one of the oldest bloodlines directly linked to the Salem witches. They were not thrown into the fire. They migrated to California and founded the studios. They traded the cauldron for the camera. Every movie, every clip, every trend is a sigil cast into the collective unconscious. They are not interested in your money. What they are really looking for is your faith and belief. You are not the audience. You are the sacrifice. They control the magic. But the next family controlled the American crown and paid with blood in the public square.
Nah, this is about to get crazy. You guys remember how there used to be asylums like for crazy people back in the days? Check this out.
What if the insane asylums from the 1800s weren't built for insane people at all? Think about it. People always say, if there was a reset, wouldn't everyone have known? But what if the people who did know were labeled insane? In the 1800s, all across America and Canada, massive insane asylums started appearing. Huge buildings, massive stone structures, some of the biggest buildings in the entire country at the time. But here's the strange part. Many of these cities were just being founded. So where did all of these insane people come from? And how did they know there would be so many of them that they built entire castle-like complexes to hold them? Look at the Central Lunatic Asylum in Ohio. It looks more like a fortress than a hospital. Look at the Columbia State Hospital. At one point, it was the largest building in the United States. And then there's St. Vincent Hospital in St. Louis. They say it was built in 1 year. 1 year in the 1800s. With that architecture. So you have to ask yourself, were these buildings really made to treat the insane? Or were they made to silence people who remembered a world that no longer existed?
Vous en pensez quoi? N'oubliez pas de jamais prendre pour acquis n'importe quoi que je mets dans mes vidéos. Faites-vous votre propre opinion, tout le temps. Mais c'est ça le but de ça. On voit plein d'affaires ensemble, puis on se fait des opinions. Ah, vous en pensez quoi de ça? L'oxyde de graphène qui réagit aux fréquences, qui nous envoie avec les antennes. Puis là, beaucoup de monde sont rendus remplis de ça dans leur corps. Le dernier, il est un petit peu plus long, je vais vous le mettre plein écran.
How all the Iranians are calling this a war against the Epstein class. See, this is what they're fighting against. The timely release of the Epstein files. We all found out that our politicians torture, rape, and cannibalize children. Where's the uprising? Where's the revolution? How many people in the Western world are addressing this? Even people like Candace Owens, doing a great job of exposing Charlie Kirk being an inside job. Yeah, we know that. We're over that. Move on. Tucker Carlson, doing a great job of exposing Israel as being the one who's destroying America. What about the whole fact that they're all pedophiles. They all torture, rape and eat children. Why is the United States government still there now that the Epstein files have been made public? Now people know what they get up to. Oh, it's a terrible scandal. No, it's not a scandal. It's a crime. There is an international network of child rapists, torturers, cannibals who is running the world, running the Western world. Any government who isn't speaking about this, any media personality who isn't speaking about this, is part of the problem. The Iranians can see this and they go, oh my God, these people really are ruled by Baal. And so, okay, if you are going to bomb our energy infrastructure within Iran and put 93 million people in hardship, then all you people of the world who are allowing your criminal governments to bomb Gaza, genocide Gaza, to now genocide Lebanon, all funded by Western governments, as much as you want to blame Israel, Israel gets all its bombs from the United States, gets all its support from England, gets all its logistics from Pine Gap and stuff in Australia. Everybody's involved. Okay, so if all of you Western governments are going to allow this to happen and you're going to support this, you're going to support them knocking out our energy supply, then we're going to knock out your energy supply. And that goes for the entire world. And we feel justified in doing so because none of you people are standing up about any of this. You just found out your government torture, rape and eat children. What are you doing about it? You're joining the military and going fighting their wars and going and bombing Iran, a country that hasn't attacked anyone in 280 years. And that just shows the mentality of the West. It really does. So you can see the Iranian perspective. What they may not understand is that by taking down the world's energy supply, they're actually playing directly into the hands of the Zionists anyway.
Si t'as écouté la vidéo jusqu'à là, n'oublie pas de mettre ton like, mets ton commentaire en bas pour me dire qu'est-ce que t'en penses, puis pense à t'abonner si t'aimes le contenu. C'est la chaîne Casque en alu, puis comme promis, je vais finir ça avec Céline Dion. Vous allez voir, c'est capoté, ben raide, c'est capoté. Fait que je vais aller vous chercher ça sur Internet, je vais rajouter ça au montage à la fin. Fait que, merci guys, c'était épisode numéro 8 de Réveil-toi, tabarnak. Un vidéo un petit peu plus court aujourd'hui, mais ça fait pas qu'il y en ait moins intéressant. Ciao!
Salut les gens, vous avez réservé pour Céline Dion. Il y a 30 000 places de disponibles. Là, vous avez Céline Dion en 2018. Et là, vous avez Céline Dion. En 2027, moi, je préfère la Wish, franchement.
Oh, you know.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm Celine Dion.
Our children, they are not really our children,
As we are all just links in a never-ending chain
that is life.
For us, they are everything. But in reality, we are only a fraction of their universe. We miss the past.
They dream of tomorrow.
We may thrust them forward into the future, but the course will always be theirs to choose. I can't believe they called security. I mean, oh, come on, I'm Celine Dion. I'm not spending the night in jail. Holy shit. Guys, relax, easy. I'm Celine Dion.
Yeah, girl, and I'm Beyonce.
I'm calling my agent.
Si t'as écouté la vidéo jusqu'à là, n'oublie pas de mettre ton like, mets ton commentaire en bas pour me dire qu'est-ce que t'en penses, puis pense à t'abonner si t'aimes le contenu. C'est la chaîne casque en alu. Puis...
I can't tell you about the Matrix. All I can do is give you the red pill, and you gotta see for yourself.